Hello sunshines, welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm Heather, known as Bunnyfish on all of the internet places. It is the middle of May, but I can't get an idea out of my head. I want to swatch for my Advent blanket. It's only like 6 months away until it's Advent time. It's gosh over, right? It's fine. And the more that the idea has been percolating in my brain, the more I think I want to do a blanket from The Art of Crochet Blankets, I think it's called. And the blanket that I think that I want to make is the cement tile blanket. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough yarn in each mini to make the blanket squares. And I also kind of want to have an idea of how big the blanket squares were going to be, because I mean with 24 20-gram minis, it's not going to be a big blanket anyway. I totally get that. I totally understand it. But I kind of just want an idea of what size I could get. I've never worked with the dyer's yarn before. I'm taking a big risk because I just love the color concept. The Advent that I got is based off of this is the second time, Edgar Allan Poe. And so it's supposed to be like dark and murky, and I love that so much. And I just want an idea of the size of the squares. So I am getting a fingering weight Advent kit because I figured that would be more flexible for whatever I wanted. But the pattern is a DK weight pattern. So I'm going to end up holding my yarn double. And I've never worked with a dyer before. So I don't have yarn from the dyer, and I couldn't find minis in my stash that matched exactly, but I do have the set, this rainbow set from Knit Picks, and they're the same makeup but slightly less yardage than the minis I'm getting. So I figured that'll be okay. Like the squares that I make might end up being like a skosh smaller than the square that I make today. Y'all, there is a fly in my bedroom and it is driving me crazy. We're in my bedroom. I record most of my stuff in my bedroom, unless I'm at school or Andrew's. All of my craft supplies are in my bedroom. There's a fly in here, which is why this is so choppy, because I was trying to like make sure there was no buzzing. If you hear buzzing though, like it's driving me bonkers. Anyway, I am going to wind up a mini, one of the colorful minis, and then wind up the white also, and just kind of test out the pattern for this cement block square that uses the most of the colorful color, because each square has a colorful motif and a like main color motif. In the squares, the colorful part is blue and then the main color is white. I don't know what color I'm going to pick for my main color if I do this blanket. That will still have to percolate, but I'm going to open this. I'm going to take out 2 of these minis. I'm going to wind them up and we're going to swatch for this blanket, because I would rather know now whether or not this blanket is going to work. And did I get through the thought? I don't think I got through the thought. I am going to be swatching the square that has the most of the colorful yarn to see, because I would hate to get through like one of the other squares and be like, yeah, it's gonna work, and then not be able to make this other motif. Does that make sense? I mean, I could use the other motifs that are in the blanket. There are 3, but I really want all of them. Like, it's slowly been coming to me that that's the blanket that I want to make. So I'm going to try that. We're going to try this tonight and see how it goes. the lighting's probably going to shift. It is evening time. The sun is on its descent. So the light might be weird by the end of this video, but let's see what we can do. I am going to have to take frequent breaks because crocheting does hurt my hands a little more than knitting does. I watched a 20-minute vlog while I worked on this, and I got to, I did the math and it's like 16% through. So I'm looking at, I don't know, 2-ish hours to make a square during Advent season, which is good information to know. And my ball isn't looking too tiny yet, so that's exciting. I am going to, I'm going to pull up my book now that it's like all set up. Mostly I was watching a vlog because instead of chaining and working double crochets across the chain like the pattern says, I did a foundation double crochet row, which does take my attention and I have to actually look. But now it's just working in pattern. I mean, the rows aren't all the same, but it's just working in pattern basically. So I can read and crochet as I'm going. I think my reading while crafting tip video is going to come out tomorrow. It's almost edited. All right, sunshines. So it's now night. The sun is gone, which means I don't want to use my ring light. I'm not feeling it. So we have my lamp in my room, and it's not the most beautiful lighting, but it'll be fine, right? Okay. So the verdict is I do not have enough yarn with this set of minis to do the square as written. However, I'm not that far off. I'm only 2 rows off. So what I'm thinking is, I think I'm going to do this pattern. Like something amazing and crazy would have to come up to change my mind, but I'm going to do this pattern. What I need to remember, so I'm glad that I'm recording this. What I need to remember is I'm going to keep a size G hook per the pattern. I am going to continue to hold the yarn double, but instead of doing the pattern as written, I'm going to do the first and last rows in the main color and then do the rest per pattern. Because as I've said, in the squares, this is the square that percentage-wise uses the most of the colorful yarn in the square. The other two motifs have much more of the main color yarn. So even like I'll have a little bit of play, plus the minis that I'm getting have about 10 more yards per mini. So that should give me plenty of play. Do I think 5 yards would give me 2 more rows? Okay, pause. So here we are. I'm going to tie just a slip knot so it's easy to pull out after I measure. But I know that's giving me like an inch of play. But do we think that this is going to be 5 yards or more or less? So I just pulled out 1 row, and I'll go ahead and take out that inch plus a little on this end, just so it's easier to like know what I have free to play. All right, I'm gonna go measure this. So that row that I pulled out was about 3.5 yards, so 7 yards when it's doubled, or like 7 yards single, 3.5 yards doubled. So I actually would have enough yarn in the mini with very little play. Which means on December 1st, when I open my first mini, I will be making this square for sure. So that, like, I don't know if it's the first square in the pattern, but I'll be making this motif first so that I know if I need to change it up on the ends. This was a really good experiment. I really, really liked having done this, because this is not what this is written for. Like, it doesn't give, it's not an Advent pattern, but I think it's going to be so super cute when it's done. I'm really glad I did this. Thank you for walking through this with me, and I'm sorry my glasses are so glary, and my face is also so glary. And letting me like figure this out with you. Oh, the reason why I want to keep this a size G hook also is that this square is just about 9 inches by 9 inches, and then all of the squares get bordered with single crochet, which takes them to about 9.5 inches, and I think that will be an okay start to a blanket. I might put a kind of big border on it. I might, because it would be, you know, 5 squares across, 5 squares down, so 9 times 5 is 45, so 45 inches by 45 inches is a little small. So I might get some minis to go with it, like after I see the minis. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know for sure what I'm gonna do. I also don't know what my main color is going to be, but this swatching process was really, really good. Now I'm going to rip it out because this is too much, and I don't want to leave that mess for me for later. But thank you so much for watching this swatch video. I know it seems really, really early to be planning for Advent thingies, but have you bought an Advent calendar? Are you going to make your own Advent calendar? I made my own last year, and I really liked that. But I also like that I purchased one for myself this year. And I've made myself Advent calendars for several years, and I really, really like that too. Are you buying one? Are you making yourself one? I even made an Advent calendar that I sold to people called A Certain Shade of Green, and I loved that too. So yeah, I just love the countdown calendars. I think they're so fun. It's so nice to, in December when everything feels like so stressful, get a little present every day, a little yarny present every day. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit the like button if you liked it. Leave comments, questions down below, and subscribe if you haven't yet and you like what you saw. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.